Hello, my crafty friends. I thought I would do another kind of DIY video and show you some of the things that I've made to use on the jelly plate. Some things you can do at home with, you don't have to buy expensive stencils or things like that in order to make stuff to use on your jelly plate. Or if you want to have things that you can use on your jelly plate that are, um, where you don't mess up other things because you're using them. I'm going to show you some some different things. I just thought of one thing though, and that's why I'm digging down in here because I forgot to get it out when I first decided to do this. I had this in my head, and then when I was getting stuff out, I forgot about it, and I can't find it. Okay, sorry to make so much noise. Well. Here those go. Let's see. I have several of them. It's not like they must be all in the same place, wherever they are. Hmm. Oh, I found them. Sorry about that. There's the steak I was looking for a few minutes ago. Just cleaning some stuff up, and I just threw it all, um, threw it all in the bag. Okay. All right. Here's some examples. I thought instead of just showing you what they look like, I would also print some prints so you can see what they look like when you work with them. But one thing I did was take those foam um, flowers that you can buy at Dollar Tree or Walmart or wherever, and I stacked several of them on top of each other and glued them to the top of a something that you can use to um, to hold on to them with, and made some stamps like that. This is a small one, and these I only use them for jelly plating, so I don't bother trying to clean them up. Um, I just use them for jelly plating and move on. This is one I made just by taking the foam that is and cutting it and then rolling it up, the kind that has sticky on the back and it just rolls right up on itself, and made that. This is some of these little foam things that are hearts. This is some pieces of foam I just cut into sort of cloud-like shapes and stuck them on another piece of foam. So let's play with a little bit of that so you can see kind of what they look like. We're not going to worry about whether our colors, we may put some clouds and flowers on the same thing because it's mostly just to show you. Let's do yellow. That'll be pretty. Okay. I got all these things on my wipe-off paper. That doesn't work. My wipe-off book, I guess. It's really a catalog that I'm building up pages with. And you can just press down like that and pull it up. If you've got too much paint on there, it doesn't work quite as well. I'll show you how this one looks. Here, let me just do a corner. And let's go ahead and do some clouds here just so you can see. And one of the big flowers. And we'll try this one too since we're... Well, I don't have a real handle on the back of that. But we'll do the heart too. All right. Let's pull a couple of prints from it. I put more paint on there than I should have, so it's gonna, this one's gonna be kind of juicy. I don't know if you can see, but you can see the stamp things that I did on it. Oh, I didn't hang up my clothesline so that I can put prints on. I think I need to do that. Sorry, it'll take me just a second. All right, I'm gonna get some clothespins. Okay. Now then, let's go ahead and pull a second print here. Some people call this the ghost print. Sometimes I like these better than the first one. And sometimes not so much. But that's all right. It's just a layer. Add more layers. And this is really not about making perfect prints. It's really about just showing you some different things that that you can use on your jelly plate. So I'm going to move these out of the way because I already showed you kind of how those work. The next thing I was going to show you is taking a piece of corrugated cardboard and just pulling off some of it and leaving the other. That makes a nice texture. So let's put some. Okay. All right, let's just press this down. Pick it back up. And press it down over here. And pick it back up. And you can take that even, and sometimes you can, print off of that. That looks pretty cool. All right, let's take a piece of paper here and sometimes it's better if you do these textures over another layer of paint instead of doing them on the first layer like I'm doing right now. But like I said, my main goal is to show you that you can do this. You can make these kinds of things without buying expensive stencils and tools, and you can still have really cool prints just with stuff you've got around the house. That one was fun. Let's move it out of the way too. Okay, the next one I'm going to show you. I think, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was Tracy at It's Nana's Place that I saw do this one. And I've used bubble wrap a lot, but I haven't ever done this. In fact, I just made these and I haven't even used them yet. So we'll see. that you put bubble wrap on a tube. This is a heavy tube, like heavy duty foil or something came on it. It's not a real lightweight one. And then you just roll it across. That turns out neat. Just using it like that. And then I did the big one too. I can't remember which one of these she did, but I did both kinds. And then we'll just go ahead and roll that one across too. All right, let's pull the print on that one. I'm trying to not take forever. It seems like I always think I'm going to make a quick little video to show you how to do something, and it takes 30 minutes or 45 minutes or whatever. So I really wanted this one to be fast. Now you can do the bubble wrap thing just by laying a piece of bubble wrap on top. You don't have to put it on a roller, but I think the roller's a cool idea. So I was excited when I learned that from Tracy. Okay, I don't know if I can pull up another print of that or not. I have a feeling if this one comes off, it would really have been nicer on top of something else. But let's see what happens. That looks pretty neat. Yeah, I think I like that. Could doodle in those and make them into flowers. That would be fun. Okay, let's move those out of the way. Let's move this book and let it dry. Put out another book here. Okay. And let's do some orange. I think I've got something on my roller. Oh, maybe it's in this paint. I don't know. All right, and this is the lid off of one of those things that has deals that holds like veggies or fruit that you can get at Walmart. Well, this is the, it's on top of it. So it's really a lid, but it looks like the bottom of something. Press that down on there. That's the only thing I don't like about this one. It's not quite wide enough, or I'm not practiced enough to make that look clean. But it's still fun. Look at that. It looks really pretty, doesn't it? You can see it pulled off some of the stuff from the other colors underneath it. Okay. The next thing I'm going to show you, I've made several of them, are texture plates made from, this is watercolor paper. Uh-oh, that one fell off. And texture paste through a stencil. So I just put texture paste through a stencil and then onto this and let it dry. And then I can use this. This was done with the sequin waist. This was just a polka dot stencil. I don't know if you can see that one. There you go. But all of these are just different stencils that I put some of that through. So let's play with those a little bit and see. Ooh, made a mess. Kind of spewed out. Let me get a wipe. Okay. Okay, I'm going to start with this one. I'm just going to lay it down, kind of press on it, and then pick it up. And we'll do this one. Pick it up. Do this one. Pick it up. Do the dots. And let's see. Let's do these. Okay, get that off there. And I think one of the funnest things about jelly printing is all the different textures that you can put onto your paper just this easy. And I didn't put enough paint on there, so it kind of dried out before I got it off. But you can still see how those work. So that's cool. So there's another idea. And then the last one, I'm going to show you. I did two different ways. And these are with these meat trays and the foam with sticky back foam. On this is just the meat tray, the bottom of one. Let me get one that's whole and show you. I just went to local grocery store and I asked them if I could have some clean, empty meat trays to do some art with. They looked at me like I was nuts, but they gave me about 10 of them. And so, so this is what I use. So you can see that this is this. I just cut off the side around it so it would be flat. And then I took something and kind of drew in the middle. So let's do a little something with that. Okay. And I'm just going to take this and put it right here. Press down. Try to press pretty evenly. And then right here. And then let's take a print of that and see what it looks like. Looky there. Isn't that pretty? Off of a meat tray. Okay. Now with these, I've got several different ones here. I used the foam, and I just cut shapes out. You know, the sticky back foam. I cut shapes out, and then I stuck them there. Took the sticky off, you know, the backing off, and stuck them down to a different piece of foam. Different arrangements. This one I did mainly just to see if you could wiggle it, you know, and make squirvy lines out of things that you cut straight. And it did. So I'll show you what those look like now. Um, let's And I know I'm kind of rushing through, so I'm not making my paint as pretty as I could. But um, okay, we'll do this one. Just lay it on top and press straight down. If you've got too much paint on there, it will slide real easy. So you just want to press straight down. And then pull it up. And then you can take this and, you know, if you've got another piece of paper over there you want to, you can put a print off on that. I made that brick one because I kept seeing all these neat stencils, brick stencils, and I really couldn't afford a brick stencil at that moment. And so I just made me a brick stamp instead. Alrighty. Let's go ahead and take off that. Don't want that thing to fall out on. And let's do some orange with it. Just for a little bit more depth than one color gives. Okay, what is that? Huh. Keep thinking I should be able to see something on my brayer that's making that, but I don't see anything. All right, let's put this one down and see what it does. It's probably my least favorite of the ones that I made, but it was like most of my things are, can I do this? Will this work? So I haven't gone back and made one that was pretty with the same concept. That one, it's beginning to bring this one back. Okay, piece of paper, sorry. See, you forget what you're doing, and sometimes the paint dries too much. Don't think it will this time because I put a little too much paint on there. And that does kind of save you sometimes. Sometimes it messes up your print because the paint kind of squishes into the parts you don't want it to. But it will save you from letting it dry out completely. So that one, like I said, I had too much paint. Plus, it's just, but at least you can see what you could do with a different design. Let's go ahead and pull this one here. There we go. I just love the way the colors that were there before give it such depth. This is not many things you can do that do that for you the way the chili plate does. And this one is really juicy here, so let's go ahead and get the rest of that up. The paper can only hold on to so much paint, so if you don't have if you have too much on there, it just leaves it goopy. Okay, let's try another one to go with this one. Let's try some green and some light blue. No, let's just do green. Yeah, let's do some light blue just for kicks. Okay. Because I can. I'm going to kind of scrub it around because I don't really want there to be those lines where I poured it out in that design, that line shape. I just want a little extra depth that having two colors can give you. All right, we're going to try this one now. Go straight down. So it doesn't slide. Oh, I think it's just slid it. Okay, and that is caused by way too much paint. So I don't think this design is going to turn out as good as it would have if I'd used less paint. See? Learn from my mistakes. Use less paint. See how it just kind of obliterated the design because there's just too much paint. Let's go ahead and pull this one. I think this one will be better. Actually, I'm going to do it on top of it. No, that's still wet. I think this one will probably be better because it has less paint. There you go. Now, if that had been on top of something else that was painted, it would be really kind of cool. But because it's the first thing that's on that page, it doesn't, it's not quite as neat as it would be if you had something pink or blue or whatever underneath that. Ooh, wet, wet, wet. Okay. Let's just see if we can get some of this off on here. Okay. Now the rest of these that I'm going to show you are done kind of like those other stamps. These came from Walmart or the thrift store or whatever. With these particular ones, I put them on there and then I used a pen and I kind of made divots where the so that there would be a little bit more detail. The leaves didn't have the lines in them. I put the lines in them just to give it more detail. And with these, you've got double layers, but the first layer doesn't really print. It's really just the top layer that prints most of the time. Now, sometimes you can see where some places it did because I pushed down harder in one place than another. And I put these on, I stuck the sticky back foam down to foam board to make these before I had the this one I just made for Valentine's Day this year, and when I used it I didn't have it on this I just used it on the foam, and you can see it really made a lot of indentions there. So we're gonna We're going to play with that one a little bit and see if it'll be better, because now it's got a hard back to it. We'll see. Okay. One thing you need to remember is what the pattern you see on the top here, as far as the paint goes, is not what shows up. It's whatever's underneath. And that's why sometimes if you rub it around better, then you can, well, there was something on there. I need to give my brayer a good cleaning. Okay. Let's do the hearts now and see if putting them on this hard back makes it more even. Yeah. I don't see any of the background on these like I did on the when I did it before. That's great. I'm glad I remembered to go stick that on there. The other ones I did a couple of years ago, and this one I just did. So I had forgotten about that. I was in a hurry and I just made it quick, but not as good as I could. All right. You can see the swirls where I put the paint down, but I love the green coming off in the hearts. That's just really cool. I like that. I think I like that one a lot. All right, let's go ahead and pull this one. And then I'll do one of the flower ones. And then I'll let you go. I'm going to show you before I go. I'll make another video where I actually use them. But I found some lace dresses. Oh, that looks pretty. I found some lace dresses at the thrift store, and it was half day off day. So I got them for $1.50 a piece, and which was cool. And and it's lace. It's completely different from anything that I'm used to seeing. So um, I think it'll be fun to play with. And let's go ahead and put a little of this in there. Ooh, take that off. There we go. Excuse me. All right. We'll do this one just to show you what these are like on the foam board. Ooh, I just felt it slide a little bit. I don't know what these are going to look like because I'm sitting down. If I was standing up, I could do it without them sliding as good. Okay, let's do this just for kicks. Let's move it over here and put this down. Now that's pretty. That's really pretty. Okay. I like that. Sometimes you need to think about the jelly plate as just like an ink pad. Ink up your stamps and these things, and then use them on your papers. Um, Instead of pulling the print, just use the stamp. Use it as an ink pad. Okay, that's pretty. I guess it's a good thing I'm stop in here because I think I have room for this one more print. And that's all the room I'm going to have on my little clothesline. Ah, there you go. That looks pretty. If it had something cool underneath it, so it would be even better. Okay, I want to move these things out of the way, and then I want to show you my new laces that I got to work with, and I'll do a video working with those later, probably tomorrow or the next day. Oh goodness, where did I put this? Okay, let me get a little bit of this stuff off my hands before I get that little stress out. I don't know why. It's not like I'm going to be wearing them. I'm going to be painting with them, but somehow it just seems like the right thing to do. Okay, just about got it here. All right. The first thing I got is really a shawl. Let me find something white to put underneath it so you can see. What can I use? Okay, I'll put this under it so you can see the pattern better. I think that'll look really pretty on the jelly plate. And because I bought a whole shawl, I can make, a bunch of them. If they get yucky, I can make another one. The next one is this little dress, and it's got some pretty bangly things too that I'll take off and use. Looking forward to that. But let's see what the lace looks like here. It's got some pulls on it, but it'll still be pretty on the jelly plate. So that'll be interesting. And here's another one. This one's really kind of old-fashioned little dress. Not something I would ever wear because I'm not into short sleeveless things, but I love the lace. Won't that be pretty? It's going to be so much fun. You'll have to come back for my lace extravaganza. And this one, I need something darker to put under it because it is white, but it's definitely a kind of lace I've never seen before, and so it will be really interesting, I think, too. It's more geometric rather than lacy looking. Isn't that pretty? Okay. There are my little lacy dresses that I only buy to use for art. Okay. Well, y'all have a blessed evening and or morning or whenever you're watching this. Have a blessed day and thank you so much for watching. Bless you.